G'day there guys, it's your Aussie Hubby Markee, back at it again with another r/EntitledParents video. Now if you love me as much as I love you, then you know what to do. I want you to mosey on over to that old like button and tackle it like Steve Irwin. Maybe even chuck an Aussie flag down in the comments. Now with that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and get ready for some bloody Karens. Now our first post is by user ColCola99, titled, Entitled Parent Threatened to Kick Me Out After I Have a Seizure. So before I start getting into the actual experience here, I should provide some background information so this hits harder. First of all, I am a 20-year-old type 1 diabetic since I was 2 years old. I'm also an epileptic since I was about 10. Now I am also diagnosed with anxiety and depression, which weirdly enough shows the symptoms for my diabetes and epilepsy. Basically, if I'm anxious or depressed, I'll either show in my blood sugar with spikes or drops, or I'll just have an epileptic seizure, despite taking meds. Now, my mother is on a different level of uniqueness? She's been a paraplegic since her 20s, and while she has a service dog to help her with everything, she will force me awake at like 6 in the morning to help her with literally anything she can think of, even though her dog can do it. I go upstairs probably about 20 times a day, ranging from cleaning to baking. Now, since my diseases, it's not safe for me to have a job, as it actually causes me to have seizures at work. This is important because, for the past few months, my mother is either forcing me to take like 4 university classes or get a full-time job. Basically, she's sentencing me to endless seizures, which, if I fall the wrong way, I could get brain damage, break my neck or skull, or even kill myself. Today was the worst. I had a seizure this morning, and when my boyfriend practically revived me, crying from stress, he took me upstairs. Explaining I had a seizure, this is the conversation. I didn't even make it up the stairs before she started ranting at me, and blaming me for everything, and saying that because of this seizure, I had to get them under control or she was going to kick me out, even though I have no money, nor can I work. I also can't get into disability yet because of this whole COVID thing. I had to leave cause she can't do this anymore. My boyfriend pulled me away downstairs and told her off, but she still ranted. But he ended it with, "What the hell? Your son just had a seizure and hit his head and you're making it about yourself." Her response was to frick off. Planning on moving out with him to his sister's for a while, but this is my daily life so far. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Alright, and our next post is by user Sleepy Inc., titled, Entitled Mother Leaves Her Son at a Party So She Can Smoke Weed. Disclaimer, this story is in no way intended to criticize marijuana or the people who smoke it. The cast are me, myself, EM, our dreaded entitled mother, CB, cute boy, SF, stepfather, SU, step-uncle, M is my mum. Love you, mum. So this happened last summer. My stepfather got invited to a family barbecue that was being hosted by his brother, step-uncle, and me and my mum decided to tag along. We got there without incident, and for the first hour or so, everyone was having a pretty great time. Food was good, the weather was great, everyone was laughing. Typical family barbecue. About 2 hours into the party, stepfather's daughter, the entitled mother, arrives with her son, choosing beggar. Just kidding, CB, which is a cute boy, who was about 3 when this went down. Almost as soon as she arrived, she set cute boy loose into the yard so he could play, and instantly started complaining to the other guests about how difficult it was to get there, how expensive gas money was, how difficult cute boy was being, etc. Putting aside the fact that she came to the party out of the blue, with no indication that she wanted to come, and how she was bringing everyone down with her complaints. The main issue of the situation was that she just let cute boy roam around this yard unattended. Now, this yard is huge, with a very deep slope that leads into a busy street and a small hill towards the back of the property that leads to the woods, with a pretty deep creek. On top of that, cute boy is autistic, with a few other special needs to boot, so he tends to wander off and get lost a lot. Needless to say, this whole situation was making me very nervous. So as we were talking by the grill, I was constantly looking over my shoulder to see just where cute boy was, and what he was doing. After a few minutes, however, entitled mother spoke up. She says, OP, let him play on his own. He doesn't need you breathing down his neck. I'm just worried that he might get hurt, or go a little too far into the woods. What are you, a child expert? You don't have any children of your own. What would you know about any of this? Well, OP is studying in college to work with children. You are? Yeah, I want to get my degree in child developmental psychotherapy. After I said that, Entitled Mother went silent for a bit, and the conversation ended there. About 20 minutes later, Cute Boy came running up to us and told us he had to go potty. Entitled Mother suggested that I should show him where it was, because I had been to Step-Uncle's house more than she had. I thought it was a bit odd, but I didn't mind, because I love Cute Boy, and I'm always happy to help out. So we go inside, and I help him get to the toilet and wash his hands, no problem. However, by the time we came back, both Entitled Mother and her car were gone. I quickly asked my mum where she went, but she had no idea. So I'm rushing around this party, asking pretty much everyone there if they know where Entitled Mother drove off to, which was a resound no from everyone. At this point, stepfather, step-uncle, and mum are all trying to contact Entitled Mother. Cute Boy is slowly getting more and more upset because he doesn't know where his mother is. I try to calm him down, telling him it's just going to be me and him chilling for a while until his mother came back. He quickly perked up and started to play around with a few toys laying around for the kids to play with. 4 hours pass before Entitled Mother comes back to the party. Cute Boy runs up to her and gives her a hug, basically the only person happy to see her right now. That's when Stepfather and Step-Uncle storm up to her and start questioning her. Stepfather says, "Where the hell were you? Cute Boy was worried sick. I'm a grown adult, I don't have to tell you where I am every 5 seconds, chill out. You were gone for 4 hours without telling us where you were going or when you would be back. You can't do that." "Well, OP is here, so I can." "What are you talking about? She's majoring in child whatever in college. Isn't her future job to watch kids all day? That doesn't mean you can abandon your son." At this point I knew I had called upon the cursed wrath of the entitled parents. How dare you? I did not abandon him. I came back. What? I can't have fun anymore? He's a good boy. You should feel honored to care for him. I go to smoke weed one time and now you are all on my case like I'm a bad mother? You don't even have children, so how would you know? You were smoking weed? Does smoking weed take that long? I don't think Entitled Mother intended for anyone to know that she was smoking weed, because after she realized that she outed herself to everyone, she grabbed Cute Boy and quickly drove off the property. I haven't heard from Entitled Mother since then. Stepfather told me that she has sent him a ton of text messages about how I'm a terrible person and how I should cut ties with his side of the family. Honestly, I'm not that concerned about her trash talking. As selfish as this may sound, I'm more upset over the fact that instead of enjoying the rest of the party, I had to spend 4 hours babysitting while trying to track down Entitled Mother. But hey, karma I guess. Okay, so something crazy happened yesterday, which is totally ironic seeing as I just posted this story. So Entitled Mother got arrested. I haven't gotten all of the details yet, but from what I've been told, Entitled Mother got caught with possession of marijuana. Weed is illegal in my state. She hasn't been able to post bail as of the time I am posting this update. SF has refused to post her bail, much to the Entitled Mother's horror. SF has taken temporary custody of Cute Boy until this whole thing gets sorted out, although Step-Uncle has expressed a lot of interest in becoming Cute Boy's legal guardian, and has even begun, just today, to build a fence around his yard, so Cute Boy can't wander away if he came to live there. I'll try to update this post as I get more details on the situation. Alright, and our next post is by the same OP, titled, "Entitled Mother Tries to Poison My Cat Because I Wouldn't Let Her Have Him." Hi again everyone, just got off of a 40-hour shift, so that means it's story time. If you are new to my Entitled Mother stories, I suggest you go to my account and read my 2 other r/EntitledParents posts to get a sense of who we are dealing with. Everyone else, you know the drill. Note, this happened 2 years ago to clear up any confusion. Cast are me myself, CB Cute Boy, AB Awesome Brother, EM Entitled Mother, insert thunder sounds, SD Stepdad, M is Mum. So, I have a pet cat named Squish. Guys, I cannot even begin to tell you how much I adore this freaking cat. My brother and I found him abandoned in a cardboard box when he was a newborn. He hadn't even opened his little eyes yet. We took him home and quite literally begged on our knees until our mum said we could keep him. Ever since, Squish has been a part of our family. Now, something I need you guys to understand is that this cat is very attached to our family. He will run to the door to greet us if he hears our voices. He will paw at any of us to pick him up and cuddle him. He will even try to pick up cat treats and take them to me and my brother to try to share them with us. Point is, my family loves Squish and Squish loves us back. Remember this, it becomes important later. Enter our entitled mother, EM. She and her son, Cute Boy, had come over to our house for an afternoon to visit and stay for dinner. At first, this visit was going perfect. Entitled mother wasn't being a total jerk, Cute Boy was having a free time. Seemed like a smooth evening, right? Yeah, not with entitled mother. Me, my brother, Cute Boy, and entitled mother were all in the living room, playing with Squish when entitled mother started talking. Cute Boy loves Squish so much. What's not to love, he's such a bean. Yeah, so I've been meaning to get Cute Boy a cat. That's cool, I'm sure he would love to have a little pet. Yeah, he would, but most pet stores are so expensive. Well, I would go to an animal shelter if I were you. There are plenty of pets there that need some love, and I think it might be cheaper than a pet store. Oh, I don't think you get it. I don't want to have to pay for a cat. Well, you know you can't have Squish, right? And why can't I? First, because he's not your cat. Second, because he already has a forever home. Third, he is very attached to us, and I don't think it would be right to take him away from his family. Cute Boy deserves a nice cat. He's a good boy. Then go to a shelter like OP said. There are tons of cats there that need a home. Those cats are boring. I want your cat. No, but I'm not having this discussion with you, entitled mother. The answer is no. Drop it. By some miracle, that actually worked for a bit. The night continued as planned. After dinner, Cute Boy was getting a bit restless, so we decided to take him outside and play. Entitled mother claimed she had an important phone call to make, so she would stay inside. I was suspicious, but I didn't push it. Me, AB, and Cute Boy played around in the backyard for about 20 minutes, while Mum and Stepdad sat on the porch. I got pretty thirsty from chasing an energetic toddler around, so I went inside to get some water from the fridge. I went into the kitchen, and never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined what I saw. There was entitled mother in front of the counter with a now empty bottle of epilepsy medication. She was using a spoon to crush up my pills, and she had an unopened can of wet cat food standing by. Needless to say, it didn't take long for me to put two and two together. Something I need you guys to know about me is that I don't get angry often. I get upset, annoyed, frustrated, etc. But it is rare for me to get truly furious at someone. Seeing her there in my home, trying to poison my Squish, just clicked something in my brain. I felt my chest get hot and tight, and the corners of my vision were turning red as I stomped up to confront her. I say, what the hell are you doing? OP, it's not what it oh, I think it is what it looks like. So I'm going to let you try again. What the hell are you doing? Well, you wouldn't let me have him, so you're trying to fudging poison him? It's not like I didn't give you an option. I asked you to give him to me and you said no. Take this as a lesson, never refuse a request by someone who is older than you. She then continued to crush up the pills. Now, I am not a strong or big person by any means. I am 4'4", and entitled mother is 5'7". That size difference has always been a big reason as to why I try not to get physical with her. But I was just so mad and worried that she was actually going to poison the cat that I just acted. I grabbed her wrist and said very firm, "Stop." She then proceeded to stop, then turns around, grabs me by my hair, and pulls as hard as she possibly could. I started to scream at the top of my lungs, and that was enough to get my mum and stepdad to come in and see what's going on. Entitled mother lets go of my hair, and my mother proceeds to tear into entitled mother. "How dare you grab my child like that?" "Well, she grabbed my wrist. I don't give a frick what she did. You have no right to touch my child like that." I'll get you arrested for assault. Sweetheart, I'm going to be arrested for your murder if you don't get the hell out of my house. I guess that was enough to scare entitled mother, because she quickly grabbed the cute boy and drove off of our property as fast as she could. I filled my mum in on what happened after she left, and my mother got a scary look in her eyes. She grabbed my stepdad by the collar of his shirt, dragged them to their bedroom, and stayed there for about 3 hours. When they emerged, stepdad said that entitled mother was no longer allowed to come to our house. Happy to say that Squish still lives with us, and is as happy as healthy as he can be. The best part of this story is that, ever since this happened, my mother makes a point to tag entitled mother in random pictures of our cat from time to time. Alright, and our next post is by user GodTierFapper, titled, Entitled Mother Yanks My 81-year-old Dad Out of the Way at the Local Supermarket. I've been taking care of my parents for the last 2 months, while during this coronavirus. I've tried forcing them to stay in, but there are some things that they refuse to give up. Going to the grocery store is one of them. We were at the store in front of the pastor when 3 young girls come flying down the aisle in front of us. The first girl slammed into my father's cart. The other 2 weren't far behind us and stumble over the first girl who fell over. My dad, being a normal human being, tries to check on the girl. Next thing, I see a rather large woman who I assume to be their mum lumbering down the aisle. My dad was offering his hand to the girl when her mum grabs my dad by the shoulder and yanks him to the side. My dad, who isn't the most fleet-footed in the best of times, falls into the shelves and onto his ass. I run to check on him, and luckily enough he seems to be fine. I look back at the woman expecting an apology or something the like, to hear her betraying my father. She's holding her daughter at this point, and I didn't want to scream in a child's face, but I did demand an apology for assaulting my father. She continues berating my father and me and storms off. Luckily, my dad is no worse for wear and has a grin on his face. He thought the whole ordeal was hilarious and says, "You can't fix stupid." I'm still seething, which is why I'm writing this to vent. And our next post is by user Warlady22, titled, Entitled Parents at My Job. Several quickies, nothing too big. I am ready to torch my job down to avoid everyone. First off, every single damn parent asking for toilet paper when we had none. I adore my assistant manager Tom. One entitled mother kept clapping in his face every time he told her they had nothing back there. Check the back. Again, clap. My baby needs it. Then Tom clapped back in her face. I checked 4 times today. They are not going to suddenly appear after the 5th time. She started screaming, but he just walked away. Second, we had shoplifters. Someone trying to shoplift food, candy, small products. But we have our people going up and down the aisles all day, so no one is getting away with it. Yes, it becomes a screaming match with these entitled people, parents mostly, who feel like they deserve to get their stuff for free. One guy even threw a frickin' sucker punch at someone because he wasn't allowed to steal it. Third, we got toilet paper delivered last week, and we have a 2 per person rule. Yes, arguments abound with people wanting more than that, but we don't want them to get away with taking more. This one guy put up 3 packages onto the counter. I scanned 2, but told him I wouldn't scan the last item. So guess what he does? He looks me right in the eye, picks up the 4th package and coughs all over it, getting spit and whatnot all over it. He put it back down, grinning at me. Now what are you gonna do with it? Thanking my manager for enforcing the use of gloves, I picked up the package without looking away from the guy, reached under the counter for the disinfectant wipes we have down there, and pulled out 2 of them. The man gave me this really angry look as I wiped down the package from the top to the bottom. I used a 3rd wipe as he is gearing up to yell at me, and I pull out the rolls behind the counter. I gave him a sweet smile. He explodes at me as I ring him up with that smile. I may be autistic, and yelling does make me upset, but the sound of another coworker laughing at this guy helped me endure as I finished ringing the guy up. He called me every dirty name he can think of, which at this point in time I had heard at least 3 times daily since the pandemic started. I really wish I was exaggerating. He paid and walked out of there ranting. I wiped down the package a fourth time, and the manager took it back to the shelf. I would throw it out to be honest, but we had to make a sale. Finally, Tom got us some lockers that look somewhat like these. They look kinda dope, not gonna lie. We have to have bins with our names on them and the back for our coats and such. However, too many customers have been caught going through our things and even flat out stealing items. Tom is the best assistant manager. He went out and bought us those lockers. We still have people trying to break into them, but up until today, no one has gotten into them. Today, however, someone was able to. When I came into work today, I saw a police car leaving the parking lot with someone in the back and someone taking a crying kid. I couldn't tell the gender to another car. I asked someone what happened. Apparently, this parent came in and went into the back room. Somehow, he got 2 of the lockers opened and started putting things in his bag with this kid was holding. Money, their own supply of disinfectants, their lunch, anything they could put in the bag. He was caught, of course, by one of the employees and the police was called. And I was told it was just going to get worse. Ugh, not looking forward to this. And our next post is by user Phoenix_BFN, titled, "A mother and child try to steal my dog." So for some backstory, I have a dog named Archie. We have had him since last summer and have loved him ever since. For people asking for pictures of him, I think there's one on Reddit somewhere. Anyways, I took him out for a walk today into the forest near my house like I usually do. The walk went as usual, up until we were on our way back home. We had just reached our neighbor's fence when I heard a scream and running behind us. It was a, I'm guessing 5-year-old boy running towards us, her mother behind him. I have gotten used to this type of reaction when walking with Archie. He is a white West Siberian Lyca, so people seeing him and gasping isn't really anything special to me, but this felt different. Here comes the following convo. Kay's like, "What's his name?" "His name's Archie. You may pet him, he doesn't hurt you." "Hello, what a nice dog you got. What breed is he?" "Thanks. He's in West Siberian Lyca." "Are you sure he's a Lyca? Looks like a Samoyed to me." "They do look similar, but Samoyeds have thicker fur." "Look kid, I'm older than you and know more about everything than you do. He's a Samoyed. Bet you don't feed him properly and that's why he's so skinny." Search images of Siberian Lycas and compare them to Samoyeds. They look different. I kneel down to the kid and I say, "Hey kid, me and Archie are going to go home now. If you want to see him again, then he is in the yard a lot every single day." "Okay, bye Archie." By the way, the kid was the cutest 5-year-old I have ever seen. So we had gotten back home and I was casually relaxing indoors. I let Archie outside because my mum was in the backyard. Sometime later, my mum came inside, leaving Archie outside. Couple minutes passed and I hear Archie barking and similar sounding voices outside. Archie barks all the time when someone walks past, but what made me look outside were the voices. It was the kid again patting Archie, but I couldn't see the kid's mother, who I assumed was the other voice. I walked out of the front door to see the mother opening our front gate to let Archie out. I rushed over to her to talk to her. "What are you doing?" "You are mistreating your dog. I am letting him free." "We saved that dog from a man who beat him with a metal pipe. Stop what you're doing or I'll call the police." Because the front gate opens inward, I just leaned on it so she couldn't open it. The entitled mother literally grabbed me from my jacket and punched me straight in my face. I fell down to the ground, which allowed her to just push the gate open. Then she asked the kid to come over to her. Archie, of course, followed the kid. Then, just like in a movie, my neighbor who had seen everything happened to walk up to us, wearing a leather jacket, sunglasses, and holding a replica lever-action shotgun. He looked like a frickin' Terminator. He quickly told the mother to get back and got Archie back in my yard. The entitled mother was frozen in place, meanwhile her son didn't even care and was petting Archie again. My mum had already called the cops when she noticed that some stranger was trying to steal Archie, so the waiting didn't take long. After some civilized talking, entitled mother was accused of attacking me, entering private property, trying to steal Archie, and attacking a police officer after she tried to tear one's face off when she was asked to get inside the police car. Well, What a happy ending to today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed these entitled parent stories. Tell me what you thought of them down in the comments below. As always, this has been Markee, and I hope you have a good time today. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.